Good evening. It's Facebook Love, number 133. I'm still at 6s and 7s. A couple days of feeling that way. I think I'm not spending as much conscious time thinking about it as I did after the murder of George Floyd. But the incident with Jacob, I think his last name is Blake, Jacob Blake, in Kenosha, Wisconsin a few days ago bothers me a great deal, and the aftermath of it bothers me a great deal. My son works with some young men who know Jacob, and it feels very close. It feels like it just keeps happening. And there are so many people who just keep getting it wrong. It doesn't matter if he might have had a weapon. He didn't. It doesn't matter if he has some kind of criminal background. There was nothing happening in the moment, and police officers have no right to use deadly force against someone who's done nothing wrong, not in the moment, and they are not the judge or the jury. Maybe that's why I've been so off. I'm sure there's other stuff too, but pardon me, we're having a pandemic, and it's not just a virus that's bothering our populace. It's injustice. It's our awareness. I know I said a few months ago that maybe when I was younger I was better at turning all that off and just staying focused on my own life. I'm terrible at that now. I don't know if it's aging. I don't know if it's because everything's just out there all the time and it's hard to turn it off. I don't know. So I found a few poems by a writer named Marilyn Nelson. She's still working. She is the author of many books of poetry. She's written collections of verse for children as well as pieces for young adults. And she has been the chancellor for the Academy of American Poets as well. She's quite a tasty writer. So I found two pieces that I thought were current and made me feel good. So I'll share those today. This first one is called Octopus Empire. What if the submarine is praying for a way it can poison the air, in which some of them have leaped for a few seconds, felt its suffocating, rejected buoyancy? Something floats above their known world, leading a wake of uncountable death. What if they organized into a rebellion? Now, scientists have found a group of octopuses who seem to have a sense of community, who live in dwellings made of gathered pebbles and shells, who cooperate, who defend an apparent border. Perhaps they'll have a plan for the planet in a millennium or two after we're gone. Octopus Empire from 2019 by Marilyn Nelson. Here's another. This one is from 2014, a book she called How I Discovered Poetry. That alone is sort of an interesting thing to explore. How did you discover poetry? Was it nursery rhymes? Was it writing out lyrics to a song and realizing that they were a poem? Was it someone reciting something to you like this? This piece is called Moonlily. When we play horses at recess, my name is Moonlily, and I'm a yearling mare. We gallop circles around the playground, whinnying, neighing, and shaking our manes. We scrape the ground with scuffed saddle Oxfords, thunder around the little kids on swings and seesaws, and around the boys' ball games. We are sorrel, chestnut, buckskin, pinto, gray, a herd in pastel dresses and white socks. We are self-named, untamed, untouched, unridden. Our plains know no fences. We can smell spring. The bell produces metamorphosis. Still hot and flushed, we file back to our desks. One bay in a room of palominos. Moonlily by Marilyn Nelson. I remember wearing those kinds of shoes and white socks. Probably a little old-fashioned for a kid in the 70s. She was certainly doing that in the 50s. My parents were young but a little bit old-fashioned. I had red and white Oxfords, and sometimes my socks had little lace edges. On Sunday I wore patent leather shoes. Then the socks went all the way to my knees. Those were dressy. Thinking about things like that in the daily life of a child, I can let go of some of the other hard things that I can't solve today. This is Facebook Love number 133.